We've had the opportunity to learn about the formula that converts the price of a car or the amount of a loan into the monthly payment. Now, the monthly payment for a car is not the only cost that a car owner will encounter. In 8.6.2, we also have to consider the cost of annual fuel. In addition to the monthly payment for car financing, individuals must also budget for expenses such as annual inspection, license fees, insurance premiums, maintenance, unexpected repair, and annual fuel costs. The annual fuel cost can inform an individual's selection of a certain type of car. If you're interested in keeping your monthly expenses down, then this is something you should certainly consider as you choose a certain car. To determine the cost of annual fuel, we're going to take the annual miles driven divided by the miles per gallon for that particular car times the price per gallon. That's going to give us the total cost of fuel for 1 year. Example 3. Suppose that you drive 36,000 miles per year and that the average gas price was $3.50 per gallon for a particular year. A, what will you save in annual fuel expenses by owning a hybrid car averaging 40 miles per gallon versus an SUV averaging 15 miles per gallon? So let's calculate the annual fuel cost for each choice. Let's begin with our hybrid. So the annual cost of fuel, according to our formula above, is going to be the annual miles driven. We're assuming 36,000, just an approximation, divided by the miles per gallon, 40 miles per gallon. That is an incredible score for miles per gallon for a hybrid car. And we're going to go and approximate $3.50 per gallon. And of course, that changes year to year, event to event, right? So we're going to take our 36,000, divide by 40, and multiply by 350. So the annual fuel cost for our hybrid car is $3,150. Let's do the same calculation for our SUV. Now, we're still considering 36,000 miles per year. What's different is miles per gallon. There is a vast difference in miles per gallon. And we're going to keep the price of fuel at $3.50. That way we can compare these two options. So 36,000 divided by 15 times $3.50 a gallon. So the cost here is $8,400. Big difference, right? So as you consider purchasing a car, you have to think about what are your needs. Do you need a big work truck where you have to haul equipment, tools, materials, that sort of thing? Or can you purchase a hybrid car? And if you do, you're going to save quite a bit on annual fuel. Now, the question is, how much will you save if you go with the hybrid? So our savings, of course, are going to be the difference between those two. So let's find the difference between $8,400 and $3,150. So $5,250 difference. That is a big difference. It's very interesting to put it into this annual yearly cost so that you can really comprehend how much is that costing you per year to fuel up a particular type of car. Now, here's an interesting experiment. Let's decide you go with the hybrid car, okay? You're going to choose the hybrid because the fuel cost, the annual fuel cost is much less. But let's suppose you had that in your budget. You're able to afford the fuel for an SUV, but you decide to go for the hybrid anyway. Let's suppose you deposit your monthly fuel savings into an annuity. Remember our retirement accounts? Don't forget about those. That pays 7.25% compounded monthly. How much will you have saved at the end of 7 years? Okay, so we need to figure out our monthly fuel savings. If our annual fuel savings, or our annual fuel savings for going with the hybrid as opposed to the SUV was $52.50. We want to figure out what's our monthly savings. We're going to need to divide that by 12. So we're going to take our $52.50 divided by 12. This means we're going to save $437.50 per month. That is our monthly fuel savings. Okay, it's a big difference in the monthly cost for operating that hybrid versus operating the SUV. So we're going to take this amount that we save per month and we're going to invest it wisely. We're going to invest it in a short-term annuity. We want to know how much will we have saved at the end of 7 years. So what's the future value of that annuity? Let me remind you of the formula for the future value of an annuity. Now, you may have noticed these formulas all look very much alike. So it's really important that you select the right formula for the particular problem. So this is the future value for an ordinary annuity. So we're going to take our monthly fuel savings, $437.50, and we're going to plug them into our annuity formula. Our rate of interest is 7.25. We're looking at monthly payments, and we're going to do this for 7 years. Another R over N here in the bottom. So let's calculate what would happen if, instead of spending that money on gas, we invest it. At the end of 7 years, we will have saved $46,101.91. Isn't that mind-boggling? If we chose this hybrid car and we took that monthly savings and instead of spending it on gas, we invest it in an annuity that pays 7.25%. We do this for 7 years. At the end of that 7 years, we would have $46,101.91. Now, keep in mind, we contributed $437.50 every month. That's 12 times a year for 7 years. So our contribution to that account is $36,750. And that will have grown approximately $10,000, a little less. So you will have earned a little less than $10,000 in interest for investing your money. Now, I hope that gives you an idea that the life spent paying debt is much different than the life spent in investment, right? If you, instead of paying interest on loans and debt, you turn that into investments, then you can really turn your financial life around. So this will complete our section on the study of cars. In the next section, we're going to be looking at similar loans for homes. We're also going to talk about strategies for how you can pay loans off early and also some ideas for how to organize your financial life. So, hope you're enjoying this section. I'll see you in the next video.